Yes, I'm getting this violence.
Yes,
And then they're not even
over nothing. And then I used to respond with, "You're right, I am the worst." So then I learned, actually, in my own therapy, to say, "You're right, I am the worst." And then she had nothing to say to me.
Welcome to the full mom tea. You know it's hard out here being moms. We always seem to get the job done. Moms, they run the world. Moms, they run the world.
Yay! Okay.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Vanya.
And welcome to the
Full Mom Tea. Hello. I mean, can we just, for people who can watch on Spotify or YouTube, you got to see this number here. It's like, what is it? A perfect red. And
it's a suit. It's a sweatsuit. It's a suit made out of sweatsuit material.
But I need it, and I need it now.
You should have one. And they come in like lots of colors.
It's so comfy.
And then it's got a zipper.
Oh,
it's got a zipper where you can be like in the
room.
So you can be slutty too. Show your ankles. Okay, so no, but I wore it because I was like, we have a professional on today.
Yes. Meanwhile, I wore my 8-year-old shirt with a stain on it. I didn't know it. I didn't know this was a stain. I
can't
thought it was
see
a shadow.
It's a shadow. To
but
me.
Well,
my eyesight's going, so I couldn't see it. At all
great.
Anyways,
all right. Well,
but
we're
thank
here.
you.
Yes, you look great. What's going on?
It's raining today.
It is a little weird.
That's not happening. So my hair is big, so I put it in little things. But who cares? There's a lot of big problems in the world. Who cares about my hair? And we need rain.
We do need rain. Yeah. So we'll take it. Yeah. What else is going on?
I don't know. Who am I? I have no idea. Things are busy. Well, at school, so I am a room parent for both of my kids because
Wow.
I know, Jackie. Don't yell at me. No, I'm kidding.
Are you going nuts with Teacher Appreciation
This
Week?
is the thing, yeah. So I'm not sure when this will come out in, next to where it actually happens. But yes, Teacher Appreciation Week we're approaching. And when I signed, I have a partner. Like I have a co-room parent for each one. But when I signed up, I was not working as much as I'm working now, as you know, and I was working from home. So I was able to like pop over and do things. And so I'm not volunteering in the classrooms weekly anymore, which is, good. And I got somebody to cover, which is wonderful. But then I still have to do all the things where it's like taking the money for the teacher gift. And like our headroom parent is amazing. She's like one of the most creative people I know. So she has like a theme, and like every day is something amazing and beautiful and wonderful for our teachers who so deserve it.
Yes,
but
they do.
I have to I have to take the money. And so my other room parent for my 6th grade class, she took the money for holidays, so now it's my turn. And then I took the money for holiday in the 2nd grade class. I know this is really interesting.
You've already lost me.
So just stay with me. Stay with me. I'm going to get to an Excel document in a second.
Oh, God.
So I take the
Arousing.
money for, I wasn't going to take the money for 2nd grade, but my co-room parent is like, I don't have Venmo or anything. And she's like off the grid. No offense, but God bless, love you. But so I have to take money for both. So now I'm like taking it. So I have an Excel document to be like, Mrs. Blamada's class and Mrs. Blamada. Anyway, so that's bullshit, right? Anyway, I'm doing it. It's fine. But then I got a text from from my headroom parent who I love and respect. Like I said, she's so fucking amazing. But she's like, hey, we just got a parent saying you haven't sent anything out about Teacher Appreciation Week for 2nd grade. And of course I like flamed because I'm holding so much.
Yeah.
Like I'm working like 60 hours a week, and I'm
know
getting
how
my kids to the things and like the practices and the stuff and the blah.
I would have exploded.
I'm actually just trying to actually take a shit in the morning before I leave the house. It's like I can't.
Still got
barely
here
do that.
before I did today, by the way. Somehow.
Oh yeah, we should talk about your stomach
And
troubles.
my girl made time for this. Look at this.
Yeah.
Cheers. We got some. Okay, again.
Handcrafted merch.
Yeah. Oh. Really quickly, so that people that are watching on Spotify or YouTube, I wanted to just say on YouTube, search the Full Mom Tea podcast, and then you'll find us.
That's
Had a
how
couple
you find
people, millions asking, how
Yes.
can we watch?
Got it.
But anyway, okay, so
Okay, we'll put out a thing like that.
So So
Cheers.
What
Okay, so
happened?
basically it's all good, but I had sent stuff out. And she missed it. And I'm like, this woman complained to the PTA president, who then complained to the head room parent. I'm fine. But you know what I said? I said some people like to connect with complaining, and that's okay. I forgive. And then the other thing I said was, she has great instincts. She should be a room parent next year.
Yeah. Hey.
So I'm okay. I'm fine. But I was like, I'm just like, it's like the little thing like that actually like makes me sob and like lose my complete control of everything. And I'm just like, God. So but this week it's fine. Top. It's fine.
Oh my gosh. I'm bad.
How about you? No, I want to know.
I'm bad. I think I was supposed to be a
Michael Jackson bad?
I'm bad. I'm going to see that movie.
Are you? See, I got some issues, but it's okay. We can go through it. Can we separate the artist from the man?
Usually
I don't know if
not.
I can.
I think he's the only one that I teeter on, which is fucked up. I don't know why.
No.
He's so good.
No, I know.
But I know a lot of other people.
No, here's the thing. If you didn't see Escaping Neverland or whatever the hell that is, well, they good. You would be fucked up. I am traumatized by that show's documentary. It was on HBO and they scrubbed it. The like the Michael Jackson what do they call it? The people who get all the money, his family basically had it like redacted from HBO. You can't even watch it. But it was so upsetting. I can't. Anyways. Okay. Let's move on from that. But I do love Michael Jackson's music. I remember when he died and I lived in New York and every bar was playing it. It was amazing. It was amazing.
I mean, he's a legend. Oh, the Michael Jackson documentary is coming out, or like was already out. That's why it's been in my head.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm bad. Okay, what were we talking about? Our
Pooping.
brains.
Are you
I'm
okay?
bad. Oh, I'm a bad room parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Are you a room parent?
Tried to be not good. This other lady needs to step in from your school. Maybe she could do too.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm okay at it, but I can't. I've accepted that I'm just not that. Yeah. It's just not the season for me to.
You have young
try
kids.
to do that.
Yeah.
I have young kids, and I was I donate. I give all the. I'm like. Yeah. On it with that stuff. I do my part, a little extra if I can. Yeah. Especially with the older one, I like volunteer and do music classes and stuff for them. So like, it's not like I'm not like I don't give a shit, but I
shouldn't give a shit about our kids, guys.
But I've just kind of relinquished that responsibility.
No, that's
I'm just
good.
Like I'm not here for this right now.
Yeah. And as they get into like here, where the kids go to elementary, they go to 6th grade. And it's like 6th grade is its own thing. Yeah. So instead of volunteer, I mean, I am doing a little bit of volunteering for them, but I just sent money because I was like, I know they need a lot of money. So anyway,
that's enough.
But yeah, tell me more. What else about your week besides being a bad girl?
Bad. Well,
you're such a bad girl.
I think maybe. Thank you. Maybe I could just highlight that. I think I want to highlight that a little more. Yeah. That's all. Yeah. Just that like. It might not be the season for you to do all that stuff, and that's okay. Yeah. You know, I think sometimes with mom, you feel guilty. Yeah. You're like, oh, God, I should be doing this or that or that. And like, it's cool to just be like, no.
Learn how to say no.
Meanwhile, dads aren't stressing about, no offense, Jonathan. Maybe you are. And maybe you're the room parent times
He's
5.
a PTA president at school.
Really?
I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. Could be. Jonathan's our producer. But anyway, what else has been going on? I'm just surviving Aria, the 4-year-old.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Our guest.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited to have Terry on. Terry. Yeah. Thereasa. Yeah. Thereasa, but Terry.
Dr. Howell. Yeah. I'm kidding. She's not a doctor yet.
Yeah.
But. Yeah. Okay, well, let's
bring her on because I just want to say before she comes on that we were in Carpinteria. We had met before, but we hadn't, just kind of in passing and stuff, or at our podcast thing. And I'm just telling you what, I think I had like one drink and we just were connecting and I felt seen. Yeah. And I was like, that's the energy I want on the podcast because it was raw and authentic and just like not mincing any words. And I feel like sometimes as moms, we talk around stuff because obviously we love our kids and there's always that preface like, listen, I love my kid, but and it's like, well, yeah, I mean, of course you wouldn't be so concerned or stressed if you didn't, you didn't give a shit. Right. So that being said, I love Aria so much. But we're going to talk a little shit about it. No, we're going to talk a little bit about, neurotypical versus not. We're going to talk about the fucking 4s that no one talks about. So without waiting any longer, because I got to save this for her. Shall we bring her on?
Yes, let's bring her on.
Come on in, Terry. All right.
Welcome, Thereasa. I mean, Terry, sorry.
Terry.
She goes by many names.
Teresa, Terry. Is it, if you're in trouble, like does that?
Yeah, what does your mom yell at you?
Teresa, you know.
My mom never called me Teresa.
Oh.
So interesting. So I didn't even know this until I was an adult, but my mom's an atheist.
Okay.
Interesting fact.
Wow.
Yeah.
My dad was, I always thought like Mother Teresa, and I hated the name Teresa growing up.
Okay.
So I always went by Terry. And then I went to USC for grad school. And the very first girl whose name was called was Terry Adams. And she was in hooker boots and fishnets.
Whoa.
And announced that she wanted to be a sex therapist.
Okay.
And I said, well, we're going to stick with Teresa. Because I did not want to be confused with her. If I already was thinking, like, if they call for, like, a reference, like a job, I don't want them to think her and not me.
Yeah.
So then professionally, kind of ever since, I've been Teresa. And in the work that I do, especially because I worked in Santa Clarita for so long, it was really nice to personally go by Terry and professionally Teresa. They couldn't find me on social media, the family.
Oh, smart.
So it was kind of nice to have.
Okay, wait. So let's properly introduce you, because I know Terry from before, not in your professional way.
Right.
I know Terry, not Teresa. So, but do you want to say, what is your title?
Sure. I am the National Director of Behavioral Health for RCM Healthcare Services. So we staff paraprofessionals, RBTs, BCBAs that work in school districts nationwide.
Okay.
But for, I don't even know, since 2010, I've been working in the field one-on-one with kids with autism or different behavioral or developmental disorders.
Okay.
So I started in homes. Then I worked in the school. I actually worked for our children's school district for a year, and then realized I'm way too much of an empath for that job. It's different to have like one family or one student, and kind of like when you're working in a home, go home and be able to I got really good at compartmentalizing.
Yeah.
But they actually assigned me, I didn't know this when I worked for the district, but they actually assigned me to our kids' school, and that was a lot. Knowing the issues of all the kids that we're going to school with, carrying that, I was like, I can't compartmentalize 600 kids.
Yeah.
One kid was fine.
That's a lot.
So then that's how RCM Healthcare found me.
And what is your master's in again?
I have a master's in marriage and family therapy. And then I'm a BCBA, I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and then a board certified behavior analyst, which is like it's the certification for working with applied behavior analysis, or ABA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what a BCBA is.
And when you say RC, what's that acronym for?
Well, that's an interesting story. It actually stands for like raw materials and compounds or something. It started out as a technology company. And then they branched off into healthcare. So we say it stands for recruit, consult, manage.
Okay.
But it really isn't. It's some kind of like technology is the parent company. And then they did a healthcare branch.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're just placing all the needs within the school districts across the nation.
Right. So I'm the point of contact. Like the school district will reach out to us and say, hey, we have this kiddo who needs a one-on-one, or this classroom who needs a para. And then we have a team of recruiters who recruits, and my colleague Allison and I, we review all the resumes, interview all that, and then place them in the districts.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Before we get deep down into like your expertise.
Yeah.
So our daughters play volleyball together, and today we're recording here, but then later on in a couple hours we're doing a parent versus the kids volleyball. They're really good.
Oh.
Our kids are good. So they're like 12U volleyball club volleyball.
I think they rank like 33.
I mean, it's
right
pretty.
That's
not
awesome.
to be like, not to brag.
I've seen some clips.
I
and
know.
they're
It's intense.
good.
It's very intense.
Are you guys gonna get your asses beat?
I mean, here's the thing.
No, we're very competitive.
I think and
we are not losing.
I practiced yesterday for an hour, and I stretched a lot last night because I have a hammy that likes to like cramp up. That's what I'm worried about. But so I set a bunch last night because I used to play like 20 some years ago. I played as much. Like I was a club player and I did all the things. So I'm like, okay, I can do it. And then one of the moms was like, you're setting, right? I'm like, sure, I'll set.
Yeah.
If you can pass me a ball. I'm kidding. But then my husband, he's really tall. So we'll see how.
So it's not his mom's.
No, it's all parents.
Any parents who want to participate, I think, yeah.
And he'll be in the
fun.
front, just be like, with like a block.
Yeah, I don't think they're hitting it over on.
No. Yeah. I mean, maybe we'll see. I don't know.
It'll give them good practice at avoiding
exactly.
Where is it?
The game.
I want to watch.
You should come. It's down. It's at like one of the. There's a church. I'll send you the link. But it should be hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I'll be rooting for you.
If it wasn't in the church one, because we practice all over the city, I would be bringing some booze on the sidelines. But I'm gonna stick with.
I mean, we could just hide it. That's what Stanley Cups are for, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. Okay, so we've spent many, many hours together watching volleyball, and just like our kids are in the same age, grade, and everything.
They're good friends, right? Like both your kids are same age. Are they the same age?
Oh yeah.
The
So
older
we
one
have two kids. Yes.
Oh yes.
And the younger boys. Are close. They're not in the same grade, but they're very close in age.
They're close.
Yeah,
too.
I actually got an argument with my son Brady because he was like 100% positive Calvin was in second grade. So Brady is 9 and Calvin is in second grade.
Yeah.
But Brady is 9 and Calvin's 8. But Brady's in 4th grade.
And he's one of the younger
He's a very young 4th because his birthday's in August, and Calvin is an older
Super
2nd.
old.
So I was like,
He's an
no,
elder
he's not
fourth.
Brady. And he's like, Mom, he is in 2nd grade. And then we saw Calvin like the next, and he's like, yeah, I'm in 2nd grade.
I was like, I'm in second grade. Which, by the way,
But they get along so well.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
So it's
they are
nice.
like, I
Yeah,
think it's
they're-
really
they're
nice
so
for
close.
Brady to have Calvin because I think Brady has a younger, like almost every boy in his grade is already 10.
Okay.
And he won't turn 10 till the start of 5th grade.
Yeah.
And I think they just have a little bit of a different energy, and Brady still has a very young energy. So I think he really.
Also,
enjoys
just
Calvin.
within the friend groups, you end up like hanging out. It's only girls, and mostly.
Correct.
Like I think it's only girls.
Right.
So now they're the two.
Cameron.
Oh yeah, that's true. But like they have
Other
the,
than that, it's
the
like
boy
all
energy.
girls.
They have the boy destruction energy, which I'm like I could tell a story about Calvin but I won't right now because I want to get to this. So I want to get to this.
Save it for next.
Save
time.
it for the next one.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I just I actually really have my notes here because I'm like I want to get through all of this. I think you know what. Share what you feel comfortable with, obviously, but your personal experiences with being a mom and like toddlerhood and the ages. I remember you kind of shedding some light onto that.
Yeah.
That was like really helpful. So what were kind of your own personal struggles with kids? I mean, they're still small, but and then what were tougher ages so far?
Yeah. Okay, so I had definitely my daughter is very strong-willed now, which I appreciate. But when she was a toddler, she was also very strong-willed, and I did not appreciate that. She was very tough. Yeah, she was super tough. I would say she talked very early. She walked at 9 months.
Yeah.
Very vocal. I was really one of those parents that was like, I could not wait for her to walk and talk.
Yeah.
And as soon as she did, I was like, please sit down and shut up. Because then it was like, I don't like my quesadilla in 6 pieces. I want it in 4. Yeah, like everything. And like, then you had to make a new quesadilla. Because you cut it. So it was very challenging. She went to preschool early. I think she started preschool at 2. And when she was like 2.5, they called me and said if she bites another kid, she can't come back. So that was exciting when they all knew I was a BCBA and they all knew I worked with kids with special needs. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm mortified and I don't know what to do. And honestly, I can tell you my licensed marriage family therapy degree, I'm divorced. Didn't work there. BCBA does not work on your own kids. You cannot do it. Just like there's a reason in school they don't allow teachers to teach their own kids, right?
Right.
Like it just doesn't transfer. There's too many emotions there. There's too much going on. And it was a really, having a challenging toddler actually helped me so much as a professional because there were so many things like I worked with so many kids that were food rigid, right? And I would tell parents, it's fine. Like, I don't care if it takes 3 hours. Do not give them anything to eat till they take the bite of rice, right? Well, then when you're a parent, you're like, I'm not sending her to bed hungry because then she's going to wake up and then I'm not going to sleep at night.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, like being so rigid and following ABA to a T then what? Because I was a BCBA for 4 years before I had kids.
Oh, okay.
And then I had kids, and I was like, oh, shoot, like, what was I doing? Like, until you're a parent, you just can't
don't
experience
know.
it.
Yeah.
Right? So that was 2.5 to, like, 4. 4 was really hard. I just said the fucking fours. It was really hard. Everybody told me, oh, the Fantastic Fours. They were not fantastic for Charlie. Brady was kind of like, my son was just so much more chill than her, and I think she just kind of bossed him around. So he really wasn't challenging till 7. And I think I was sure, like, they both at age 7, it was like, I mean, I called my mom at one point and was like, I just want to give her away. Like, I don't care. Like, so, and she's like, you are an awful mother. I'm like, no, but like, I hate her. Like, I know it's so horrible, but like,
terrible.
I hated her. She was so awful.
Yeah.
Every single day, you're the worst. I hate you.
Yes.
Slamming to me.
Yes,
She was
I'm
like,
getting this violence.
Yes. Slamming
They're not
doors,
even
like over nothing. And then I used to respond with, you're right, I am the worst. I'm so bad that I take you to Disneyland. And I'm so bad that, and then she would just, I don't want to go to Disneyland. I don't even care, right?
Lose.
So then I learned, actually, in my own therapy, to say, you're right, I am the worst. And then she had nothing to say to me.
And then you didn't go
And then she
forward.
felt bad. Mom, I'm sorry. I mean, no, you're not the worst. And I'm like, no, you're right, I am. And I just left it. And like, that really changed a lot. So I would say 2, 4, 7. And then, and 4 and 7 for Brady too. We're very challenged. Brady at 7, I mean, Bonnie, you know, it was like, my ex and I got divorced when Charlie was 3 and Brady was 18 months. So he never really knew us together. But I think for both of them around age 7 is when they realized, like, oh, my parents are divorced.
Yeah.
Like,
and
that
what it
really,
means.
and what it means.
Yeah.
And so then he, manipulative little fun kid, would, like, every time he was in trouble would say, just take me to Dad's. I want to live with Dad.
That's so
And that's
fucked up.
painful.
And it was like, and he knew, and again, same, didn't learn my lesson with my daughter. I would be like, fine, fine, we'll take you to your dad. And he's like, fine, take me to, and then I'm like, wait, actually, I don't want to take him to his dad's, because we know his dad. So it was like, oh my God. So that was, he really learned how to like he knew what was gonna really
They always
push
do.
my button.
Like, to your core.
Yeah. So those were, but then like 8 for both of them. I mean, they still fight with each other, but really turned a corner for me where I was like, okay, like, I think we're out of like the really terrible stage.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it took 8 years.
I do think because I consulted with her too, because I was having a heck of a time with my son.
Yeah.
And he honestly it's like just recently. He's about 7.5 or 8.5 now.
Yeah.
But it's kind of shifting right now because he's a little bit delayed. But it was really hard. And I was like, same. I was just like, why did I have children?
Right.
Why did I do this? Why did I think I wanted to have this
chose this.
special moment and like have family and all these things? And I'm like, but it's just like pure torture. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Yes, but this
you know.
is important, and especially when you have younger kids and you guys, they're a little older. It's like there is
There's a light.
hope, like a light. And I like, you think when they're younger, you think like, oh, okay, terrible 2s, I get that. We got over that. Or one will be better at 2 or 3. And then the other one, you're like, I thought that you were supposed to be better at this age. Like, what's happening? And then they swap. And then like they're 2 years apart. So I swear, like, when one gets into a phase, like, and then we get to a better place, the other one enters this heinous phase.
Yeah.
So there's just
It's true.
a very rare amount where they're both, where we're
That
all.
is so true.
Yeah.
You know?
That was the same with mine because they're 2.5. 2.5 years apart.
Yeah,
It
where
was-
we're all.
Those are 4 years apart. Mine.
So
still.
it's so hard. And then for Gianna, she was better at 4. She had really rough 2s and 3s, but she was getting better at 4. Aria's turn, and she's 6 now, so can't wait for 7. But Aria is 4.
Yeah.
And Gianna had turned a corner then, and I thought that she would too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it's not happening.
But she might.
She
Just,
might.
you
But
know.
And your what you sent over
Yes.
about what is actually neurotypical for that
Right.
age was interesting.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk through that? Because I want to hear about that.
Okay. So I don't want to misquote any of the numbers and throw people off. So, okay. I wish I had this research when I had toddlers, because it would have really helped me.
Yes.
But so there was a study done on like average engagement of a neurotypical child, right? So an average 2-year-old has 2.9 tantrums a day. So let's call it 3, right? They're biting 0.2 times per day. So clearly my 2-year-old was not average.
I was a biter personally too,
and
by the way.
Still am.
Yeah, my mom tells stories about like I got in big trouble.
And
Mine
like
are hitting.
throwing in aggression like almost 3 times per day, right? Still at 2, which is fine. But I think some of the most important things for parents is accepting denial. So that's like, no, you can't have it. A 2-year-old, an average 2-year-old, 47% of the time, right? So less than half of the time when you tell them no, are they like, okay, right? Now, when you get to 4, it's still 50%. It goes from 47 to 50. 2 years, when you tell them no, it only goes up 3%, right?
Yeah.
An average 4-year-old is still having 2 tantrums a day. So it goes down by 1. Right?
Yeah. Like,
it's 2 years later, and I think that's what it is as a parent. You're going, oh my gosh, it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
But their little brain still has so much developing to do, right? I think it's way more common knowledge now. Our brains don't fully develop till we're 25, right?
Crazy.
And we're expecting out of these 4-year-olds that, like, they're supposed to have so much growth in a 2-year time span that just is not typical, right? And I thought was super interesting to give everybody not that much hope. At 10, they're still having 0.3 tantrums a day.
Yeah.
At 10. The tantrums look different, right? But and they're still only accepting no 70% of the time. So it's like, even at 10, 3 out of 10 times when you tell them no, they're still
losing them.
I mean, we experience that. I think I still experience that at 12.
I was going to say.
Every time we tell them no to a sleepover, it's like, please. And they don't throw themselves on the floor like they used to,
but almost.
right? But, it's still the same thing. So I think, balancing what is typical and then what isn't. And I think the differentiator between do I need to get some help for this is how long and how often, right? So how often is important. If they're 4 and it's like 5 or 6 times a day, when the average neurotypical child is 3, probably a little bit concerning. If they're lasting more than 5-10 minutes, then I would say, if we're like at 30-60-minute tantrums 3 times a day, then you're going, okay, like I'm a little bit worried, right?
Yeah.
Like that emotional self-regulation is not there. And in most kids with behavioral developmental disorders, that's the differentiator between them and a neurotypical kid is they have to be taught how to self-regulate, right? Kids on the spectrum, specifically on the spectrum, don't have observational learning skills. So the best example I can give you, and that was like really great for me and stood out when I was in school, is if we go to a sushi restaurant for the first time and we've never seen a pair of chopsticks, right? If Vanya opens the chopsticks and holds them and I'm like, oh, that's what chopsticks are for, right? I look at her do it and I'm like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do with these things that I've never seen. A kid on the spectrum is not going to observe that and be like, oh, I'm supposed to do that too. Like, you're literally going to have to, first you open the wrapper, then you put it in your hands, then you hold it like this, then you pick up the food, then you put it in your mouth, right? Like, step by step, break it down for them because they're not observing in the same way what's going on. And same thing with that emotional self-regulation, right? Other kids are watching and go, ooh, he got in trouble for that. Like, I shouldn't do that. Or he cried, like, but once the teacher said, oh, come over here and do that, like, okay, I'm fine, move on. Like, they're not observing those same things, so they're not able to, like, self-regulate in the same way.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think in regards to that. Because Gianna, my oldest one, I mean, she like has been diagnosed with ADHD. Definitely like makes sense. But I feel like Aria, I don't quite know what's going on and if it is neurotypical or not. I mean, and then I took her to see a psychologist for like the regional center, like the,
perfect.
and they thought like hyperactive, like ADHD, but I'm like, she's also only 4, and that's why I'm like, I don't wanna over, her to be overdiagnosed or anything like that when at such a young age. But I also have this fear, and my husband, kind of when he was growing up, he didn't feel like it was also the time where they thought every kid had ADHD and they were just throwing Ritalin at everyone.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, like when you see someone who really has it, how different it is. And he didn't feel like he got the support and help he could have, gotten. And so I think
he was diagnosed.
He had it. Yeah. And
okay.
so I'm raw dogging it undiagnosed. I probably have it. I don't know. I have a host of other problems. So like my psychiatrist is like, let's just get this going first, and then we'll see about the old ADHD thing. But anyway, I don't want this all to be about me, but I just like just to let you know, she has like these night terrors. She wakes up and her tantrums are like, if I am consistent with saying no, and I know sometimes they get worse before they get better.
Correct.
But it'll go on for like 45 minutes to an hour.
That's a long time.
And it's not every time that long, but it's maybe getting a little shorter, but it is like full, screaming. And like the other day I was like, you're not, I don't know, it's always something stupid where you're like, you had too much orange juice. I'm not going to give you more orange juice.
Yeah.
She lost it, and she's done this before too. She sat on the ground and was like, fine, I'll pee my pants. Because I started ignoring her.
I actually worked with a student who did that.
Okay, how fun.
You know why?
What?
Because they know you can't ignore that.
Right.
That's why.
Exactly.
Which is really a sign of superior intelligence.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It was very, like, she learned, and you know what we did? We said, fine, we'll put you in a diaper.
Yeah.
And then you can ignore it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I did that. Since she had it from overnight, she moved the diaper over.
Oh, girl.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you are a sick genius. What? But to your point is don't pay attention. Like, because I got to be honest. I looked at her and I yelled at her, which I know you're not supposed to do.
Oh, but
I was just like, that is disgusting. Like, I just lost it, and I was like, you peed all over, but after, here's what confuses me is since they are spicy girls, both of them. Yeah. I don't know where they get it from, but I am like, if I sometimes don't do the wrong thing. Like, if I don't, snap at them and get really serious, I feel like then they don't listen either. Yeah. I mean, they'll listen if I do that.
Right.
Yeah. It's not the wrong thing. So that's, like, something for me that's so important. Like, there's nothing as a parent that you're going to do. Well, I shouldn't say nothing, but you're not going to ruin them because you gave in to them one time, right?
Yeah.
But definitely consistency is the key. That's fine. Like, if they need you to be stern and follow through, like, and really, it's interesting when you say ignore, because we don't, in ABA, we really don't like ignore anymore. We call it waiting, like you're waiting it out, because you don't want to fully ignore. But it is, it really is about the function of the behavior. So, for example, there's 4 functions in ABA. There's access to tangibles. There's self-stimulatory behavior, which is like the kids who STEM. There's task avoidance. And why am I blanking on the other one? But attention seeking. So if they're doing something to seek attention, then you want to ignore, quote unquote, right? So if you have the kid that they are not interested in you until you're on the phone, and then as soon as they're on the phone, they're like, Mom, Mom, Mom. Like, then you ignore it. You're like, you don't even say, I love this. I've worked with so many parents who are like, I'm on the phone. I'm ignoring you right now. No, you're not. Like, you're giving them attention, right? Like, you literally have to ignore. But in that example you gave of like, no, you can't have more orange juice, you don't have to ignore her because her tantrum is about access to a tangible item, which is the orange juice. So as long as you follow through and don't give her the orange juice, over time, it will reduce. 100%, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Almost every kiddo I've worked with in home or in the school, there's been a history of reinforcement for the behaviors. So especially nowadays, you go and they're like, every time I turn off the TV, they throw a fit. So first we analyze, okay, like, are they in the middle of a show? right? So like with my son, I tell him, okay, Brady, I do a lot of priming in my house, right?
Mornings.
And say, okay, Brady, 30 minutes till bed. He's like, okay. Then I'm like, 5 minutes till bed. He's like, okay. Almost every time without fail, he goes, can I watch the rest of my video? And we've set, he loves his like kids YouTube, right? And we've set parameters around, like if it's any longer than 5 minutes to the rest of his video, no, he can't. But if he has less than 5 minutes, I'm like, sure, finish the rest of your video, then we're turning the TV off, right? I think any of us, right, we also have to like think about it. Like if I was in the middle of a show and my boyfriend came and was like, time to go, and turn it off, I'd
I
be
want to
like,
see what happens next.
what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like you're telling me, like in the middle, like let me at least finish or give me some kind of warning.
Yeah.
Right. So same thing. So as long as you're following through with the denial of access to the orange juice, I mean, really, you could give her as much attention as you want because what it's about is getting access to orange juice. So you just can't give her any more orange juice, right? And don't give her something
else. That's
correct.
what I was.
It's like water. Because if you're like, you can have lemonade, it's like, I mean, you might as well have given her the orange juice, right? Same thing. So it's really
So
about.
I can give her water.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Obviously,
Just-
she doesn't want it.
Correct. But you can be like, you can have water,
Yeah.
but we're done with orange juice for the day, right? And you just have to consistently follow through with that. And again, like when I go into the end, I'm like, no, we're actually going to turn off the TV. They are not happy, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. But then they learn, like, it's so, you're going to get back if it's like, oh, we need to pause the TV or we need to turn the TV off because we're doing homework, right? Actually, homework, it isn't about homework. It's about the fact that they don't want to turn the TV off, right?
Yeah.
So then once they realize, like, my son, homework is going to take 5 minutes at our school. It's like, you wasted so much time throwing a fit about turning off the TV. You actually got less TV time, right? Because it takes you 5 minutes. And once you're able to kind of follow through with those things and they see like, oh, it was so much easier to just do my homework and then get back to my show than to fight the whole thing, right? I get so much of that. Now it's time to go to practice and you have no time for TV because you threw a fit, right?
Yeah.
And it takes time for that to connect. So it's really about figuring out what the function of the behavior is. Like, do they want access? Do they want to avoid something, right? Common mistake I would say most parents make is, if it is homework, if the issue is homework, right? Sitting out, okay, it's time to do homework. They're like, no. Rip the paper in half, crumple it on a ball, throw it in the trash, flip the table. I mean, I've worked with all the extremes, right? I would say a majority of parents I worked with in that situation say, you're in timeout. But that's what they wanted. They didn't want to do their homework. And now you just gave them a full escape from their homework. So they're sitting in timeout and they're like,
hell yeah.
they're so fucking happy.
Smoking
They're
a
like, this is
cigarette.
great. Exactly. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't have to do I'm getting out of my homework for even longer, right? So it's about, no, I'm going to tape it back together. Like I've taped so many pieces of homework back together for kids I've worked that it's like ripping it is not going to stop you from having to do it. And then just figuring out those ways, right? Working with the teacher, talking with the teacher. If homework is 20 problems, it's like, okay, how about we start with 5? Do 5, you can take a break. We'll come back, you do another 5, right? For some kids, that's really overwhelming, 20 problems, right? So it's just about figuring out kind of, I think, what is triggering them. And I think the most important thing in ABA is really just figuring out what is the function of the behavior so that your intervention is providing the right consequence. We call them consequences, but sometimes the consequence is positive, right? But if you're ignoring, again, when it's about the orange juice, I mean, the ignoring really isn't going to do much. It's about the follow through of no orange juice.
Yeah. And but they'll tantrum, but it's like
let them tantrum
and let her pee.
Let her be and be like, and like the student that I work with that did that, it was in the school. So as soon as, and she was in 3rd grade, I think, 2nd or 3rd grade. And as soon as we put on a diaper, that behavior stopped really quick because we can't ignore her peeing her pants in the classroom, right? But and she was embarrassed about the diaper. Yeah. Because she knew the other kids in the class didn't have a diaper. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So that, I mean, you can ignore it when it's in a diaper, but I mean, it sounds like too with Aria, I mean, some kids just know what level they need to take it to where you can no longer ignore. Like I've worked in so many, like I can ignore a lot of things, but when you grab a knife,
right?
Yeah.
Everybody stops.
Yeah.
And I've worked with 2 kids who did that. And they knew. So then it was like, the parents were not, but it's like, gotta lock the knives away. Yeah. They were never going to use it, but they knew and they were like, yes, your kitchen knives have to be locked in your own house.
Wow.
If you want this behavior to stop, right? Because they have that now, and what happens, unfortunately, because you can't ignore that, is the next time they're not going to start with throwing pencils, ripping paper, hitting you. They're going to go right to the knife.
Yeah.
Because the knife worked, right?
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, this worked. Everybody stopped. Got the attention I wanted, right? So you got to lock it away.
And
right?
is that still considered neurotypical
no,
behavior?
Those are definitely kiddos on the spectrum. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think a lot of times with like what you were talking about with ADHD back then, what they found is a lot of those kids were actually just really highly intelligent and bored in class. Mm-hmm. And they were like, they were done with their work in 5 minutes. Everybody else needed 20. And then it's like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think the difference in like the ADHD stuff is figuring out like, even during a preferred activity, something she really loves, if she can't focus there for a typical amount of time, then it's like, okay, maybe something's going on, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
even
yeah.
if she's with her friends or she's doing her favorite thing, watching a show, whatever, like if she can't focus on that when it's something she really loves, taking school out of it, then I would say that's when I'm always like, yeah. That's something to look into. And I'm sure your husband felt the same, but the earlier you intervene, the better, right?
Yeah.
At age 3, their brain starts pruning and making connections that you can never go back and redo or undo, right? So the earlier you intervene, the earlier you get help, the better.
Yeah. And I think that's why I'm like, there's no harm in it, like there's in looking into it. And Gianna, I do think even if especially motivating her when it's a very high motivator, she still has such a hard time doing it. TV's about the only thing that can like hold her. But we did find that more she was finishing stuff really. I mean, in the beginning of the year, it was like she's not paying attention, she's not doing this or that, and when I would come home and do the homework with her, I mean, she was done in a minute or two,
right.
And I'm like, okay, so she can do it.
Right.
I guess she's just, she is a little bored. And she is bright. Everybody thinks their kid's bright.
She is bright.
I'm realizing she's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't, verdict's still out on Aria, but what is I'm sorry. And someday she's gonna watch this.
It's fine.
Love her. Love her. She's amazing.
And regional center is great because the services are free. And I used to say all the time, like, if I could get ABA for my kids just because it's like having a free tutor in your house, like the diagnosis, I think sometimes people they're worried about like, oh, now they have this diagnosis, they have that. It's like, it doesn't, the diagnosis just gets you help.
Yeah.
That's all it is,
Yeah.
right? It's just something that gets you help. ADHD doesn't mean you have to go on medication, right? Like it's just a pathway to get you help.
The help
it doesn't
that you
have
need.
to. Yeah, and especially with like autism. I mean, the range is so. Albert Einstein had autism.
I know that.
I mean, Bill Gates has autism. He's quite
Right.
successful, right? So it's like the range is so big. Like it really is just something that says, okay, you're off in a little bit of categories there. You don't have all the skills you need in these 3 categories.
Yeah.
And how can we help you get there? And for parents who I've told parents that are super worried about the label, after any amount of time, you can always go get them reassessed.
Yeah.
There's no cure, right? But if you're looking at the criteria, you have to have a certain number of deficits in the 3 categories. Now, if you go back in 2 years and they only have 1 deficit in each category, they're no longer going to have autism.
Right.
So there's no cure, but they no longer meet the criteria for autism.
And
so that's fine.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to have them labeled that forever.
And some of them actually, is it true that they probably don't grow out of autism, but they grow out of a lot of they grow out of some parts of ADHD? Is that true?
Oh, yeah. I think as kiddos get older, they learn, I wouldn't say grow out, but they learn skills to manage it.
Yeah.
To better
I mean,
manage it.
as a ADHD
'cause-
person, I wouldn't be able to sit in this seat for as calm as I am as a kid. I would not even as like probably a teenager. I probably would have been like,
Yeah, that's Gianna. I mean, she's twisting around.
but
legs are up here.
So,
like this.
I mean, maybe I'm just old and tired now, but like there's
don't have
definitely
the
things.
energy
Yeah.
to twist.
But I have a lot more as an adult. I didn't get necessarily the skills that I needed, the tools that I needed,
Yeah.
and so I did work really hard. I had to work extra hard to like because I had goals, things I wanted. Like I was really competitive about stuff, and like, so I knew I wanted that thing, but I'm like, what do I have to do? How do I have to get there to get myself the same level as one other person, be it like passing math, you know, like or whatever it is. But yeah.
Oh,
And I think
math.
Yeah.
I heard meth.
When I passed math, you know,
Just like we
you
got over
pass
that
it through. I ate it and then I pooped it out.
I thought you were making a joke, so I wanted to support it, but I was just like, wait,
no, like a math,
Math,
or
math.
even just like
school. Yeah.
whatever it was, you know.
Yeah.
the
And I think
extra
we've
work.
talked a lot, Vanya, about like undiagnosed. I think there was a, like you said, there was a time where everyone had ADHD.
Yeah.
Oh, they're ADHD. Oh, they're like
Yeah.
handing it out like candy. But there was also a time, like I would say 10 years ago, most of the kiddos I work with, I mean, I could walk in the home and know right away, oh, dad definitely has autism.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
right.
But he was not ever diagnosed.
Yeah.
He was just kind of like a weird, and like they're always like, oh, where do you work? Oh, I went to MIT. I work at NASA. I'm like, that tracks because you don't have to
Yes.
interact with anyone.
Super smart.
You're just like, they're super smart, engineer, like they're always in that, and I'm like, yeah. But so like they never had the help,
Right.
and now they're getting. So I think there's also a
Yes.
sector right now of like people who are as adults realizing like, oh shoot, that's probably what was going on, and trying to figure out the skills now. And
Yeah.
I think that's a lot harder.
And
Yeah.
I'm definitely hyper aware of my kids. I'm like, you know, don't want to put a label on them because that
Right.
scares me.
Sure.
But I also want to be very, like, we are living in a different time than when I was a kid. Like, nobody's going to take a knee for you. You don't get to take a test. Well, maybe if you had severe ADHD, you could take tests without times. Like, that really messed me up. I had terrible grades.
Oh.
Like, there was a point, I think elementary I was good. Oops, sorry, Jonathan, I knocked the mic. Elementary, I was good, and then middle school, decent classes I liked, excelled, but then like really not great grades. And I think it surprises people because it was so great, and as an adult,
And
that
so
I had
smart.
really bad,
And smart.
not great grades.
That is typical though,
No.
right?
It depends.
Yeah.
Well, it probably depends.
Like if you
but
can mask
ADHD
a little bit better, like I know some kids are different, but I basically like once I didn't feel like I knew it or I wasn't getting any help, I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Nick,
And I
that was
just
Nick.
didn't do it.
And I think that's very common to have really strong strengths in certain and really
Yeah.
really low weaknesses
I just-
in other areas.
No, not doing it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now that I watch my kids and I see certain things happening, I'm like, let's just slow down. Sometimes
Right.
sometimes,
Take a breath.
especially for my daughter, I'm like, and we'll see about my son, but like, I know she gets frustrated because it takes her a little bit longer for certain. Anyways, I was like, let's just, it takes me longer to get certain things in my head. So
Yeah.
let's just work together. And then she gets really upset and has a tantrum as a 12-year-old. It's fun. It's really fun.
And I think it's about finding the late, like for me, I mean, I had a 4.0 in my grad program. And if I got an A minus, I was like pissed. But there was no math. And if there was math, I promise you I wouldn't have had a 4.0, right?
Yeah.
I don't think, I think the only time I ever got an A in math in my entire school career was geometry. But
like
because it was
geometry,
like
too.
very step by step,
Yeah,
I loved
spatial.
proofs.
Yeah.
It was like there. Every other, I was like, I just didn't. And I truly felt because there's such an emphasis on like math that I was like, I'm never gonna succeed. Like that's how I felt. I'm like,
Yeah.
because like math was like math, and like
Yeah.
now. I remember a teacher telling me, "You're not gonna have a calculator everywhere you go," and I want to be like, "Haha, in your face."
do some.
Actually, I do.
Yeah.
It's on my fingertips.
Right here.
I
Yeah.
don't really need math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Manfred and I
math.
were just talking about this last night. He was like, I bet you Alexa could already do that. So because I'm like, we were talking about this whole math thing with my daughter, and I'm like, well, she needs to know like fractions because it's like, if this is my brain. I'm like, if you're cooking, and you only have 1/4 of a cup, but you need to know that you can do 1/4 twice, and that makes 1/2,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, but I bet you Alexa. And I asked Alexa, and Alexa's like, oh, if you only have 1/4, fill it to the top, dump it in, and fill it again, and then you have 1/2.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
literally like.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary. ChatGPT with Brady's homework. I take a picture of it and I say solve this problem, and it not only solves it, but it shows me the work.
Oh, thank God.
If I don't know what I'm
I've
doing,
been worried
so
about-
I'm like, what is really the need anymore? Like I hate to say it, but
well,
it's
I think
like
it's understanding certain things. Like Amelia was working on absolute diminished. What the fuck?
Oh,
it was.
yes,
you know,
Charlie told
it
me
was
about
like,
these.
but it was basically like they were finding the it's like the spread between all these numbers. Like, what's the
mean?
The mean,
yeah, the
mean
average.
Of
all of that.
But it would make sense if you're working on some sort of depends on what their job is. And the truth is like, if it is for their job, they probably could learn it. That's all.
Totally. I mean, I'm sure there's like value in learning that stuff at a young age.
Knowing
I
the
guess.
foundation.
Yeah, but I hate math. I was always terrible at it, and I have nothing to do with it now in my life, and I'm happy about that.
But it took me a long time, and there's certain things, like, because I did get past it, like, now I'm obsessed with the order of operations. I'm like, because I'm a good memorizer. I'm like, I can memorize, because I'm an actor, so I could like memorize a whole freaking Shakespeare play. You know what I mean? Like, if I could do that, then I could memorize the goddamn order of operations, and then I could figure out how to do this goddamn math problem. And then once I did that, then to me that was like an unlocking a key. So it was like memorization was unlocked. But that. Yeah. I was in college when I was crying to my tutor, who was this beautiful, sweet little Indian lady who was like, "It's okay, mommy." I was like, I'm never going to leave this school. But I did.
You did it.
Wait, there was something, okay, so I know you have a little bit about, like, if you are a neurotypical.
Correct.
Not neurotypical, neurodivergent parent.
Oh.
What are some, like, because I know you have that, and I really love that. I wrote something down.
Yes. Okay. So I put some tips for neurodivergent parents.
Thank you.
Because I've done trainings on this. But anyway, like, focus on consistency, not perfection. Like we're talking about, no one is perfect. Nobody does it right every single time. I have absolutely lost my shit on my kids. And I've found through recent personal events in my life, kids are very forgiving. They will forgive for like way more than you think they will. And you just do it, quote unquote, right again the next time, right? It's just about being as consistent as possible. And I think where people get, especially like, the consistency is hard because if you have ADHD as a parent, your brain is all over the place and you're like, wait, what am I supposed to do? And you're finally focused on one thing and they're doing, and you're like, okay, now I have to do this and follow through with this, but I just need to get this done and I'm locked in the zone, right? Yeah. But it's really just about that consistency and remembering that, again, not doing it right. Like when you're like, oh, I do the wrong thing. Like, it's not the wrong thing. You're human. Just next time, don't give her the orange juice again. Not that you did, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So next time you just start over. Regulating yourself first. So kids borrow your nervous system. If you're overwhelmed,
say that again.
Kids borrow your nervous system.
Okay.
So if you're overwhelmed, they will be too, right? So they feed off of your energy. I learned this very early with my daughter because I was really going through it with the divorce, and she knew. No matter, I mean, I could be sitting in the front seat. I will have picked her up from school, said hi, normal thing, sitting in the front seat, and she's like, "What's wrong? Are you okay?" And every time there was something wrong. Like some kind of event had happened. I had barely even interacted with her, and she knew that I was off. Yeah. And I think it's very hard, especially for working parents. Like, your brain is so on all day. And then at the end of the day, you have to go and be on for these little humans that rely on you for so much. And they really feel it. And even in kiddos that I've worked with, like, I used to always tell, I know this is maybe not the most appropriate reference, but I used to tell my staff, they smell fear. Yeah. If you walk in and they know that you're afraid of them because they're an aggressive child, like, they are going to eat you alive. I have worked with kids. I worked with a kid who was so strong, he punched a hole through his mother's car windshield, front windshield. There was no drywall left in his home. It was a divorced family. Dad wanted to put it in residential, and mom was like, absolutely not. And the dad's new fiance was pregnant, and I'm like, he is going to harm this baby, right? I was 9 months pregnant working with this kid, and the director of the regional center at the time was like, you cannot go there. Like, because it was like that serious. And I'm like, no, like, he never once harmed me. He would, all our staff got beat up. He would come right up to my face and be like, hi, Thereasa, hi. And I'm like, hi, his name, right? Never once harm me because I didn't, like, they know when you're that person who they can just trample on. Okay. And I think that's, again, like, you're regulating yourself, your nervous
I love
system.
that so much because I always bring things back to my own child.
Yeah.
And then, but like, I know, like, you know, my dad had some struggles, like he worked a lot, like, you know, all the things. But when dad came home and he wasn't happy, everybody in the house we were all like, you know, and it happened kind of a lot because whatever, adults not, you know, what do they call it? White knuckling it. Men, you know, especially the boomers are not like getting help.
Don't talk about your emotions.
Exactly. But then and everybody's been like listening to the podcast knows I've been like solo parenting for the last 4 months, almost done, couple months to go. But the point is that I have really, and it's coming home from a really stressful day. I just like the borrowing of your nervous system makes so much sense to me because I did it as a kid and I'm a really sensitive person as well. And I'm always trying to like, that's probably why I got into comedy because I wanted to make people laugh because I could always make my dad, when I could make him laugh, you know, and my mom too, to be honest with you. So I just don't want to harm my kids in that way as either. So it's like the idea of like, I just like the way you put it is like, kids borrow our nervous system. So I'm like, how do I regulate myself? How do I take a deep breath? Or maybe I'm just honest with them. Guys, I'm tired. I had a hard day. Come here. Like, I can't. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And I would say a most recent example for Charlie, my daughter, tried out for drama at Rio. And there was production level, advanced drama, and intermediate. Of course, any kid, especially my kid, because she's a perfectionist, wanted production, but she got an intermediate. I mean, I got the email and I started crying because I knew. I knew how she was going to react, how devastated she was going to be. But I literally was like, okay, I have to put myself together because if she sees me, then it's going to be even worse, right? So it's really about like, how do I take my emotions out of it because I'm sad for her because I know she's going to be sad and be like, okay, like make this a positive so that she doesn't feel it. Obviously, she's going to feel it way more deeply than me, right? I'm not the one who did it. And I think it was her first time with like failure for her, right? But it's good. She's going to have to learn to go through it. And then the last one that I think is probably the most important is use the same supports for yourself that you do for your kiddos. So tools that help them, structure, predictability, all of that help you as well, right? So do your best to like, if you have ADHD, plan your day, right? Plan ahead of time. Give yourself if you're supposed to be somewhere at whatever time, plan to be there 15 minutes early, knowing that this thing happens. Give them priming. Like I think I have a little bit of ADHD, definitely nowhere near where I don't think I would be diagnosed, but I'm very like with my kids too because I need it. They wake up in the morning and now the first thing they ask me is what are we doing today? And I literally do like you did, like a show of the day. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do the podcast and I'm going to be back. We're going to eat lunch. Brady, you're getting a haircut. Charlie, then we have practice. So like they know and they can
predictability
what this is going to look like. Because when I spring something on them, it never goes well. But also when somebody springs something on me, it doesn't go well. Yeah. I do not like when things deviate from the plan.
I like have to have alarms all over the place, which I'm sure people think I'm fucking crazy. But I'm like, oh, it's an alarm. What's it for? Oh my God. Yeah. Everybody.
But that's so great. Like Charlie asked me today when I was leaving here, she's like, okay, so what time do I need to take a shower? And I said, set an alarm for 12. She's like, okay. And so she sets her Alexa and she knows.
Yeah. Well, and I can see the fruits of the labor with Gianna more because she is 6.
Yeah.
But like even she'll be, I realize like sitting and eating is so hard for her, you know, little ones especially. Oh, yeah. But I noticed, you know, I'm like, you need to sit and, sit and eat. And then I'm like, well, I got to go do this.
Yeah.
I'm bouncing around asking her a child, because we're always doing stuff. So I'm like, we need to like, make sure we sit together and, that sort of thing. But, I don't know. And then she goes, can you put a couple times I had put the timer on how long we have to eat before we need to go somewhere. And then I stopped because I thought maybe that was giving her anxiety. But then yesterday she said, can you put the timer there? Yeah. And it's a visual timer.
Correct. Yeah.
And it helps her.
Yeah, this is how long I have to do
this. It actually structures her versus,
And it's so helpful. Like one of the, for me, that changed for me as a parent. I went to one of the best conferences I've ever been to called Think Kids, where his whole premise was kids do well if they can. No kid wakes up in the morning, he's like, I hope that I'm going to fail.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope that my teacher yells at me. I hope that I piss my mom off, right? Like there's barriers in the way, right, for them succeeding. And we have to remember as adults, like, what are our barriers too, right? Like with the little ones, when I was working with them, it was always like, oh, they finally got a hold of their favorite toy in preschool, whatever it is. And then within 2 minutes, another kid is like, I want that. And what does the teacher say? Oh, we need to share. So what I did with my kids, and I learned at this conference, is I said, you can pick 5 items when your friends come over that you put away that you do not have to share.
Yeah.
Those are yours. You don't want a kid to break it. You don't want anything to, like, I don't share my cell phone. I don't, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm not
Right.
like, sure, here's my laptop.
Yeah.
There's like, no, like, there's certain things that we're like,
away.
no, this is mine, right? So you put it away, and like recognizing that, exactly like you're saying with the table example, where like you have to say, but like it's hard for us to sit for 30 minutes, especially kids at a dinner. Like kids don't love food like we love food, right?
Yeah.
They're not engaging in the adult conversation. They're like, I have to sit in this booth at a restaurant with food I probably don't even like that much
Always.
because I'd rather eat at home, right? And it's like torture for them. And there's a reason, I think Vanya and I, there's a reason that centers in kindergarten are 15 minutes. Because that's the attention span of a kindergartner.
Yeah.
But then we go out to dinner and we have this expectation that they're going to sit there for an hour and focus on food with nothing in front of them. Even in kindergarten with something fun in front of them.
Yeah.
They can do 15 minutes. They can't do an hour.
Good reminder.
Right? We're placing these unrealistic expectations, but don't stop taking your kids out to eat.
Yeah, no.
Right.
That's what I said.
Right.
But
right.
like they have to practice it, right?
Yeah,
Like it
yeah.
takes
Yeah.
time, and maybe you give them breaks.
So, okay, so do you have any more questions? I know we need to wrap up pretty soon.
I mean, I have a million, but but I think like I want to know quickly your thoughts on super gentle parenting, because when I noticed when you talked about emotional regulation, so sometimes for me it's like I hear that and I feel like Dr. Becky and all that, it's like you need to
Dr. Becky.
you need to regulate yourself, and it's like, okay, I'm trying, like I'm trying to regulate the best that I can, but what about like what you were saying with like, I know my girls, when I'm in like a don't fuck around mood, they do respond, and sometimes I think what was kind of unlocked something is emotional regulation doesn't have to mean super soft and zen.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because that's what I think of. I'm like, well, I'm not a super zen person. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like I'm faking I'm molding myself, trying to repress something that is just not me. I'm learning tools and I'm working on them, and we're all working on ourselves as parents, but like there are some things it's like, it feels like with them. Yeah. They, like you said, they smell the weakness.
Correct.
And I think in some ways I shouldn't be gentle.
As long as you're not out of control, right? Like,
I am not a gentle parent. And it's not that I don't agree with gentle parenting. I think a lot of teachers would say that the reason the kids are so bad in school is because of gentle parenting. I've had many teachers tell me that. I think there has to be some balance in between, right?
Yes.
So one of my really good friends is an extremely gentle parent. And she does the whole, oh, I know you're having big feelings. What can I do? Like, that's fine. I can't do that, right? Like, sorry. Big feelings are big feelings, and that's fine. Like, but I'm like, yeah, I know that you're upset, but like my daughter, when she didn't, I'm like, I understand that you're sad. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to be disappointed. It's not okay to take it out on other people. Yeah. You can go in your room, you can cry, you can regulate yourself, and tomorrow we're gonna wake up and we're gonna be better. My friend would have like laid in bed with her and been like, it's not me. Another, like my son woke up in the morning. He knows if he wakes up before anybody else and he turns on the TV, the volume has to be down. He woke up at 6:30 yesterday. Who knows why? He never does. He usually sleeps until 9. Turns on TV like full bot. And I walked out. A gentle parent, my friend, would have been like, oh, I know that you just woke up and you want to watch TV, but let's turn it. I walk out and I said, absolutely not.
Oh yeah,
turn it down or you're going back to bed. And he was like, and he turned it down. Right. If I had said, he would have like looked at me like I was crazy. If I had said, oh, I know that you really want to watch TV right now. And he'd be like, who is this human? Right. Yeah. So I think there's some benefits to validating emotions. Yeah. I don't think you have to do that in a gentle way to validate. Like, again, which I was like, it's totally fine to be sad, mad, disappointed. It's disappointing. I understand that but I don't have to be like, I know you're having some really big feelings and I know this is really devastating and I know you just want to cry. I'll cry with you. Like, I don't know.
Especially with little kids, that's a lot of words.
It's a lot of words, way too much. And I think then at least with my friend, what I've observed is there's a lot of giving in and not a lot of follow through because we're trying to be so gentle.
We're doing
when
too
kids,
much.
so much research has shown us, and I don't know why we get away from it, that kids need boundaries.
Yeah.
They
100%.
crave boundaries, right? Just like your timer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Perfect example of like, I want that boundary. You thought, probably gentle parent, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to give her anxiety. She's going to be, it's like, no, like she actually wants that boundary.
Yeah.
She wants to know this is how much time, ticking it down. Like she's probably hungry, but it's hard for her to eat. So she's like, okay, I know it's almost done. I need to finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
Well, and like Brene Brown says, clear is kind, which is true. And clear is not always gentle. Clear is like, this is how, you're not like I think the opposite of that spectrum is like shaming the kids. Like back in like the 80s,
totally.
they just like, because you can get a kid to do anything in 2 seconds by shaming them.
Or hitting them.
Okay, so punishment is a
you know what I
huge
mean?
controversy. Punishment
Yeah.
works. It works. The reason, like ABA, for example, steers people away because it only works. It's kind of like drugs, right? You start with marijuana, and then it's like, oh, it doesn't really have an effect. So then you go to whatever's next because your tolerance gets high.
Yeah.
Seriously, kids with punishment, it's the same thing. Like the first time you spank them, they're like, whoa, right?
Yeah,
but if you're
interesting.
spanking them all the time, then now you need to go to the next level of punishment, right? Because spanking isn't really working anymore because they're like, yeah, I'm going to get a spanking, right? Back in the day, then it was like, let's get the belt. Let's get, now, like, that's child abuse, right? So you can't, punishment is effective, but the reason we guide away from it is because then they're gonna develop a tolerance to it just like they do anything else, and then you're gonna have to use stronger methods of punishment in order for it to be effective. And then they go to school and tell the teacher, my mom hit me with this.
I've never heard it put that way, though. I've heard it. That's interesting because I'm not really a gentle parent, and I think when I first started, I tried to be, but I it didn't. And I know, Dr. Becky and everybody says like gentle parenting gets a bad rep. It's not just that; it's having boundaries and all that stuff, but. I've seen her videos, and some of them are like, I'm like, this is not work. This isn't gonna work. This isn't working for my kid. Like, I'd be like, I'm sorry you're feeling, and she was like, yeah, I'm feeling that way. Like it's like it was almost condescending to her.
Yeah.
Like, she was just like,
yes, of course.
What are you doing? Yeah, obviously.
That's how my kids would react.
And I just felt like there was a lot of like guilting. Like it was just unrealistic expectations. Instagram does this to us, right? In motherhood, you're just like, wow, what a beautiful. How did that kid react that way and mine doesn't? And then we get talking with people and moms and honest people, they'll fucking tell you
why we started this podcast.
Yes, they're like, this shit's hard, here we go. But I like that, you weren't even like, because you know what's funny? I mean, I don't hit my kids, but now I'm almost like becoming.
Should I?
I'm like, damn, man, I get it now. Like, I won't, but I get it. Like the leashes at fucking Disney. I'm like, well,
I'm proponent for that.
I'm like, I get that. Like and then when I was in the bathroom with, I remember hearing like years ago, I heard a parent say, if you go out without me out of the bathroom, I will spank you. And I was like, gosh, that's a little harsh. Yeah. Now I'm like, I fucking get it because if they leave, like, like there are certain things where like the stakes are so high that
100%.
So anyway, I really don't judge that either or any way of parenting really. I try not to, but I'm realizing I am way more in the middle.
Yeah.
And I got to figure out, I think we all have to figure out like what that means.
What works for you?
Yeah, as long as we don't lose control. Like, because I feel like that's well, but like if you're hitting somebody or if you're doing, okay, so I will tell the quick story because I know we're so close. But like, so my son, I got a call from a neighbor friend who I love. She's like, hey, I'd want to know. I don't know if I told you the story. I basically tell Terry everything because we sit for hours watching volleyball. And anyway, she's like, I want to know if this happened, so I'm, letting you know. But like, my husband was there with one of his friends and their kids, and there were 2 boys, and so my son and the boys, they're playing outside in the dirt and like mud and like stuff. Yeah. Great. And it is a little my fault. I found a nail that was like 12 inches long, and I was put on the side because I was like, I have to show my husband because I'm like, is our house gonna fall down? Like, where the fuck did this nail come from? So I don't know what game they were playing. They all had fun. Needless to say, well, I have to say because that you don't know, but the hose exploded for some reason. It didn't have to do with the nail, but I'm like, the kids were fucking around with it. I don't care as long as nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
But these 2 boys came over looking to say hi, who are my daughter's age, to her, and she wasn't there. But my son, we know him. The kids play daily.
Yeah.
And my husband was like, yeah, you could play with the boys in the back, and they knew the other kids, and so they played for like 20 minutes or so, and then they left. Anyways, I guess my son was like wielding he found the fucking nail, and he was putting it like at the sternum of the boys, which, by the way, the boys are like 4 or 5 years older than him, which if I would have been like, go tell the adult that this idiot 8-year-old, it's my son, is doing this, but like, anyway, that's fine. And I'm glad that you felt like you should definitely tell your parent, who I'm glad they told me, because here's the thing, we had a conversation with both of my kids. They didn't know anything about tetanus, so they learned about tetanus and all.
There you go.
But I was so furious that he would think that he could put something that's almost as sharp as a knife to somebody's butt. There was no like scratch or anything, but like still. So he gets upset. He laughs when he gets upset, which I used to do. And I'm like, that's fine. And then he started crying, and then I said, that's fine. I go, well, you have to have a consequence. And so you're going to go upstairs right now to your room. And he's been really scared about being alone. So I sat with him in his room, because it wasn't like I was like, I'm holding you, but I was like sitting there. I was like, we're taking a time in, as they call it, instead of a timeout. And he's like playing with something, and I was feeling like he was being a little disrespectful, but I think he was just upset and embarrassed. Anyways, I was like, tell me I wanted to know how hard he scratched the person. So I took a Lego, which, please don't call CPS, but I took a Lego on his leg, and I was like, was it like this? And he's like, and so then I did it kind of hard, and it left like a tiny mark, and he was like, yeah, that's like, I'm like, honey, that is, and then I like tried not to overreact. But anyways, he lost a week of TV, and actually it's been the best week ever.
Oh, yeah.
But it really hasn't, because usually they come home and I let them decompress.
Me too, yeah.
But he had to do something else. He had to go play it. Anyways, long story short, I felt really guilty about like scratching him with the Lego. But honestly, he did learn the lesson. I didn't need to do anything physical to him, but he wouldn't tell me.
But what I took from that is, I'm so glad he was honest. He could have been like, it was just like this.
Yeah.
Right? But he waited, and he was honest with you.
He could have broken the skin, is the thing.
Yeah. And but I also think like, I had to really work with Brady to understand that when Charlie is like an undercover manipulator. So she is the one that in the back seat like goes like this. And then when he's like, stop it, like lashes out at her. He's like, what? I didn't do it. And I'm like, ugh. So she really, but there was like a phase, again, 7, where he would choke her. He would and I'm like, you are never allowed to put your hands, but like we understand what that can do. He didn't, like I had to tell him. Yeah. And it happened twice. The second time I was real pissed, but then it never happened again. Like once he understood like the severity.
Because you could kill somebody.
Yes, of what is happening.
And like the tetanus in my situation, I was like, guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I assumed that everybody, but
they don't.
Why would I?
I don't even think Charlie knows what tetanus is.
I mean.
Yeah. Let them know, because they might be stupid like myself.
They might take a nail.
I'm going to try to scratch somebody with it. Anyways, I was really embarrassed too, because the mom, I'm glad.
I know, it's so hard.
I'm so glad she told me, really, truly, but I was just like, I want to not be here anymore. But,
yeah. You feel like you're like, I want to disappear. Yeah. Well,
wrap us up, baby.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, straightforward question: is ABA just for autism?
No.
Okay.
So they actually use ABA in corporate settings now to restructure businesses.
Oh.
All of that.
Interesting.
So that if you go, there's a conference called ABA International. This year, I think it's in Portugal. But there's people talking about ABA using it to train dogs, tech, all because really it's just about finding out what is the function. So like if you're in a corporate environment that is toxic or not working well, it's like, okay, what is the function of what is going on in the office, right? Is everybody feeling like I need to get the most attention or I'm not going to succeed? Is everybody trying to avoid their work because they don't like the work that they're doing and maybe we need to reassign different tasks to people?
Interesting.
Right? Okay. It can really be used
no,
for
it's not.
anything.
Will they help with kids if it's not autism? Will
ABA?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't have to be, because the psychologist was like, we don't think it's autism for Aria.
I see. Okay, so you mean like regional center or like insurance companies. So with the insurance company, someone has to provide you with a report, an evaluation that says it's medically necessary for an insurance company to cover it.
Yeah.
For regional center, I haven't worked with regional center in a while. Prior, you did have to have a diagnosis of autism in order to get ABA.
I think that's the way it is, which is tough. You know, you're like,
the insurance is a little more. It just has to be medically necessary. You don't have to have a diagnosis. So they just have to find enough deficits that they're like, ABA can help, right?
Yeah.
But with regional center, I think you have to have the diagnosis of autism for ABA specifically. But, you know, obviously if there's speech stuff, then there's all different kinds of support.
And
But
ABA stands for?
Applied Behavior Analysis.
Applied Behavior Analysis. Well, thank you so much for your expertise on all of this. I mean, I literally, we could talk for hours.
I know, maybe you'll come. Maybe we'll have another subject. We'll have you come back.
With I think with some guests, it's helpful to, you know, break it up and revisit it. But this was so helpful, and I hope, you know, whatever, you know, our listeners take away of it, at least it's like you're not alone. This stuff's really, really hard. And I mean, I don't hit my kids, but you know,
just remember, I don't hit my kids. And we're out.
And Calvin's not a murderer.
Yeah, he's fine. I think. I don't know.
All right. Well,
doing our best we can.
Much.
Yeah. Thank you
Of
guys.
course.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
See you guys next.
Subscribe. Do all the things. 5 stars. Find us on Instagram. All right. Bye.
Bye.
New episodes drop every other Sunday, so be sure to follow and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. If you are loving the show, leave us a review. It helps more than you know. You can listen wherever you get your podcasts and watch full video episodes on Spotify and YouTube. Huge shout out to SCV Studio. All the love to our friends and family, and especially our kids. This truly wouldn't be possible without you. Okay, deep breaths, go be amazing or just fine, and keep bearing it all. We'll see you next time on the Full Mom Tea.
Welcome to the Full Mom Tea.